What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage Scott. Happy Canada Day, brother. We're working today. Let's get it going. We got a hot show today. What's going on?
Oh, I'm working today just like every day, it seems.
It's just another day in the neighborhood, isn't it? Yo, before we get started, I gotta do this. I was blown away. I gotta find it. Hang on 2 seconds. Hang on. Wait. Because yesterday I had a tweet, dude. And I was blown away. And it was from Corey Barlog about God of War. Here's the problem about his tweet. I guess he got a whole bunch of them because this is brutal. Here we go. I found it. Are you ready? Are you blank kidding me with this now? I cannot believe I even have to say this, but don't blank send private part pics to anyone on this team or anyone in this industry for that matter.
Or just about anybody. I don't know if that's ever really a good idea.
They are busting their butts to make something for you to enjoy. So someone tweeted at an individual on Corey's team with their area to get information on the game. Really?
I don't think that... how highly do you value that you think that's good of a trade?
It was...
I don't understand. I've seen a lot of backlash to this and kind of everybody's support around the industry because of this whole situation. But I didn't actually see that tweet in particular. That's crazy to me.
It is unbelievable to have somebody have the mindset to actually do that to anyone. Like come on, grow up. First of all, I tweeted back to, it was Bobby who tweeted out from Console Creatures. And I said they need to find whoever that is and just block them from playing the game altogether. They don't deserve to play the game. After doing that, you should block their account, ban their account, do whatever you gotta do and shut them down. Somebody who does that doesn't deserve to play your game. It's not worth it. It's not worth it them. And we don't want that person in our space. It's that simple. Just treat people with respect. The team's working on the game. Let them do their thing. And then when you get it, enjoy it then. Don't be such a jerk, man.
Oh, and what do you really want? Do you want them to rush it? Do you want a disaster a la Cyberpunk? Is that going to be good for anybody?
Yeah.
And first of all, you think one person like that is going to add to this torrential downpour of excitement for this game enough to tip the balance? It's so silly. I don't know what the end game there was.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. But Scott, let's get on to the rest of the show. I just wanted to kind of clear that out because if you're in this space, treat people with respect, at least. And just in general, treat people with respect. It goes a long way. Scott, let's get into it, buddy. People can be joining us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews, just like Northern Nerdcast is right now over on Twitch. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside thegame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Today's show, Scott, it's finally here. 343 Industry reveals details about Halo Infinite's co-op, and you can play it. Firesprite Studios and Guerrilla Games give us an insight on what we'll be up to in Horizon, Call of the Mountain, and Ubisoft rises to the surface to give us some details about Skull and Bones. Dude, we got a heck of a show. I'm pumped today. I am excited. Let's get going as we get started here. You ready for this? It is 343 reveals Halo Infinite's co-op beta launch. Date and details, how cooperative play works. This is a long article from Marcus Stewart over at Game Informer. So definitely go check that out. Let's get into it. As previously promised, Halo Infinite's long-awaited campaign co-op takes its first steps towards launch, thanks to the network beta flight, which just still blows my mind. That's what they call it. Scheduled for July.
Seeing those two words together too just confuses it further. Is it a beta or a flight?
I don't know, man. It just seems so weird. Much like the multiplayer beta that preceded Infinite's launch last fall, this co-op beta, which runs from July 11th to July 22nd, July 2020. I'm getting mixed up with the year. Hang on. I'm going to back this up, Scott. Which runs from July 11th to July 22nd, allows registered players to tackle the entire campaign alongside a buddy to ensure everything works as planned for the full rollout. Because this is a new campaign build, that players must download 343 states that no previous story progress carries over. So players will be starting from scratch. Progress made during the beta will also not transfer back to the retail version. Take note of that. You are in a beta. This is a one-time download for that time period. You're going to get in, you're going to test it, and they just want to see how well it runs, how well it works. And dude, this is something we need to jump on for sure, because I got my press release email on it yesterday.
Well, that does bring me to the second big point about this story. I'm gonna need some time off. July
11th, around July 11th. Yeah.
Well, we'll say July 10th because I'll catch that on the midnight release. But Nathan, it's time.
Nate needs the time off as well. Yeah. In a Halo Waypoint blog post, 343 led software engineer Isaac Bender and lead world designer John Mulkey discuss the co-op mode's features. A fire team of 4 players can create separate campaign saves for co-op and progress, such as completed missions, acquire collectibles, equipment upgrades, and achievements. Oh, there you go, Scott. Achievements are right there. Of course they are. Count down both players' individual saves. That means you don't need to be the fire team leader to retain your team's accomplishments. For upgrade cores, if one player collects one, then the entire team gets it. However, players spend cores individually. Thoughts, Scott?
Okay, well, they're solving this kind of cooperative XP, rather, some progress. So that's good that they've tried to hammer that out. But my head's just going back to one thing. I need one piece of armor for the achievement, for the completionist in me. And if anybody's, in a similar situation, we have 97% completion on that achievement. I need to co-op with you. We're going to find it.
I hear you. Yo, I got to jump over to Twitch for a sec because Brad hit us up. He goes, yo, my wife told me it's time to go. Said I can't. I'm in the middle of a boss fight. Not really. Watching this. Give me another 20 minutes, he says. Yo, I got to give the respect to that. I appreciate that, Brad. That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is the secret boss fight. The extra boss fight is his wife.
Yes.
That's the true one.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, man, there's a lot of things here and kind of how things carry over, right? Right now, I'm playing Outriders World Slayer. And there's like secrets that you can find scattered throughout the world. Here, the thing is, if you play co-op, right? So I've got Kyle in the party, and we got Steve joining us and stuff as well. And as we're there, we find one collectible. We all have to go to that spot to collect that thing, right? And just it leaves gives us the freedom not to worry about it. Right?
Back 4 Blood is very similar that way, but there's, you'll find like an owl statue in a dark corner somewhere, and then the rest of the team comes and swells to you.
Well, it's funny because at the end of the day, I'm like, if you get it, cool. And then I would just rather have it pop for me at the same time. And then I'll do the same thing when I go collect it. It's just easier. So whatever I'm off doing, I don't have to go, okay, now I got to stop. I got to run over to go collect this thing and then come back. There's 2 sides to it, right? I get why they make you do it personally so that you can continue to upgrade and feel like you're getting stronger, bigger, whatever you're doing, right? But at the same time, for things like that, it's just nice to have it. I like that feature. It's a quality of life thing I kind of like.
I'm wondering if that means we can get in and split up, and then I go hunt items on half the map and you hunt the other half. Does this cut down on the collectibles? Because that's, again, the achievements, I'm in.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still mad about those ones that are just glitched achievements.
Yeah. In terms of how the game accounts for each player's individual campaign progress, Mulkey states, quote, the way we are handling this is through something we internally refer to as, internal quote, no Spartan left behind, quote. When players join the fire team and choose their save slots to play on, the game aggregates the states of all missions across these saves and sets up a world state in which any mission completed by the fire team members are marked as complete, while any mission not completed by all are marked as incomplete, end quote. Bender then adds, quote, you can think of the system as creating a version of the world that's like the lowest common denominator, or intersection, if you're into set theory, of everyone's campaign's progress. This way, no matter what you do, no one is completing missions out of order, end quote. Dude, that's one of the other concerns too, right? When you get into a co-op situation, I don't want to go too far ahead because right now, honestly, it is World Slayer. And if I go too far ahead, Kyle's left way behind, right?
Yeah, I've seen it fixed in other kind of games. Borderlands 1 and 2. I think it was 1 and 2. I joined in on a co-op game and they were right at the end of the game. And what happened was they destroyed the monster, game over, but I became level 20 something instantly. And that just messed up my whole save. So I'm glad to see that they've found some sort of a way to kind of log progress.
Yeah.
And it's not always as easy as it seems.
It's funny because I was talking to my brother I guess it was a while ago now at this point, but we were talking about his experience with Ghost Recon Wildlands. Dude, one of my favorite games, right? But he joined in with his friends and they went right to, like, they literally started within the hour because everything's open. You can go wherever you want. And they found the end boss right away and beat it, and the game was over. Played for an hour.
Didn't we do that with Breakpoint?
Yeah, there's that too, right?
That was weird. Hey, is there a gun in this? Is there a gun in this building? Oh,
you're
it's
dead.
John Bernthal.
Game's over. I'm like, thanks for the hour experience. Now, Breakpoint, I have well over 100 hours, but that's a whole other story, Scott. We don't want to talk about that one right now.
That's the one you went on an achievement spree with.
Yeah, Wildlands is still the better game. I state it to this day, without a doubt. Breakpoint now is just left behind in the dust.
I'm waiting for that remake of the first-person shooter one. Let's just roll it all the way back. Let's remember what Ghost Recon was good for.
Nice. Scott, let's roll over in the world of VR. New Horizon Call of the Mountain details revealed. Multiple paths across diverse landscapes. Yes, I cannot wait. I'm so terrified of motion sickness, dude. Gonna be honest. I'm so scared.
I feel like... Yeah, you might have to take some grab off for this one.
I'm going to talk to my boss. This comes from Michael over at PSU. Firesprite Studios and Guerrilla Games have dropped some fresh details on Horizon Call of the Mountain via the game's official website. According to the update blurb on the game, players will be able to explore multiple paths in upcoming PSVR 2 Horizon spinoff. Conquer colossal peaks, overcome fearsome machines, and uncover hidden danger to the world of Horizon as you answer the call of the mountain in an immersive new adventure for PlayStation VR 2. Enter a living, breathing world of dangerous machines, tribal lore, exciting quests, and new and returning characters. Explore a diverse landscape. Embark on a journey with multiple paths to take where you'll have to look all around you. Oh man, let me see. Multiple paths where you take over, you'll have to look all around you to uncover the secrets of the mountains. Horizon Call of the Mountain is scheduled to release on PlayStation VR, though there is no actual date announced. That's the biggest thing there, Scott. However,
oh man, I really need a PlayStation VR.
Dude, I cannot wait. It looks so good.
I'm counting my pennies now because I'm so excited about this, mostly based on your reaction. But then I see little clips of it and I go, okay, this is going to be a big one. Now, I'm going to refer to it as Mountain Dew, Horizon Mountain Dew, for the next little while. That's just because I want to get on there.
Dude, I can't wait. I'm returning characters too, right? Because when the trailer opens up, you're a prisoner that they broke out of prison, and you don't even know who these characters are right in the beginning of the trailer. You do see familiar machines running around, right? And obviously the tall neck comes by, and that's a monumental moment, I think, in VR. It's one thing to experience third person perspective, even if they jump you into first person. Dude, they put you into VR and then you look up, like, you're gonna feel that scope, right? I think that's the biggest thing. You'll feel that giant. He is massive. That tall neck is so big. I want to scale that thing, and I want to jump off, and I want to see if I get motion sickness from it at all. I'm really worried.
You have to time that really well. You're just climbing it, but your text sound goes off. All right, man. Well, time to dive off.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It looks cool. I can't wait. The biggest thing is, we've heard rumblings that it's coming next year. That I was kind of hoping we see something this year, because what does PlayStation have on the dock this year for a big release? God of War is still something that apparently is scheduled for this year. So you're looking for an answer. There it is. However, what then is lined up for the following year? Like, they got a lot of stuff, right? I think the Spider-Man has a chance. Spider-Man 2 has a chance of coming out. Wolverine. I think if we can get Spider-Man 2 in like January, February, perhaps, and then will we see, like, I know they're working on Wolverine. I just don't know the current status of how early development is on that. I think it's still pretty early, so I don't think we'll see it next year, but I think we're closer to 2025 when we see GTA 6.
Oh boy, I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, just like God of War at this point, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. Corey stated that they're still on track for 2022. So, yo, I'm pretty pumped about that one.
And that's a good enough answer, in my opinion.
Well, right, he's coming from the big guy himself, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and just like this next topic.
Well, right here, let's get into it. It's Skull and Bones. Wang Yi from Ubisoft Singapore states the couple things for us to understand more about the title because, dude, there's like 1,001 questions right now with Skull and Bones. It is finally actually coming out in Ubisoft's upcoming AAA title, Skull and Bones. Players spend a significant amount of time out at sea, in our oceans, as pirates fighting for survival. The ocean is their home, their world. Much like our oceans, the world provides many resources to benefit them on their adventure, but also opens the possibility of exploration. Our first activation will address resource exploration, showing what happens in the game world and the real world when the demand for shark fins results in the overfishing of sharks. Scott, what's what's your take on that right there? Like, I'm just kind of
Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting aspect to include in a game, although that is something we should be conscious of in the real world.
In real world, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Players will have the choice to contribute to marine wildlife protection and comprehend the destructive nature of the shark fin trade. This is a game, right? Like,
does that mean I can be a bad guy and
you're a pirate?
I
don't think you're a good guy.
Shark fin company?
Oh man,
I always seek to be the villain. I don't know why.
Like our societal challenges, changes need to be collaborative, raise awareness, and encourage others to learn of and consider additional ecological causes that need attention. The first activation will be one of the seasonal live events in the game designed to show and encourage collaboration and instill in players the importance of raising awareness. Dude, they're kind of working off both, right? The reality of the shark situation and bringing in the awareness to gamers in the game. As players contribute to the community challenges, rewards will be unlocked for all players depending on the overall level of participation. Finally, to extend our efforts beyond... Dude, I instantly went to Beyond Good and Evil right there. Skull and Bones. Ubisoft plans to partner with marine conservative NGOs to show players that their in-game actions can and have a meaningful impact on the ocean that have inspired their game world. Scott, not really too much kind of going on. No official date yet. No showpiece. No really anything. It's just they are bringing events. I'm not really all that surprised. Still a lot of questions though as to like what are we doing? Are we an individual pirate? Are we the ship? Like, how does this work? Do we have a hub? Do we have a base world? Do we have headquarters?
Yeah.
Like,
can I get out of the ship and walk around on these islands if we're grabbing resources, or is it just like Zelda Wind Waker, where you just kind of drop something over the edge and reel it back up, and there you go?
Yeah, a lot of questions, right? And I think there's a lot of questions and a lot of concerns, I think, too. Nobody knows anything about this. There has to be something shown off soon. I've heard rumblings of showcase coming, dude. We're still waiting on more news of that. And nobody knows. The other thing, when we get the showcase for Skull and Bones, probably Mario plus Rabbids, and will Beyond Good and Evil be there as well, Scott?
Oh, I'm really hoping so, but I don't think so. I want them just to acknowledge it at this point and just say, like, no, it's off the table.
Oh, man. Do you think they canceled it?
I think it's like Skull and Bones, where it's just kind of sitting around in limbo for a long time. And although I'm not really sure what picked Skull and Bones back up. I don't know if it was public outcry. It certainly was not pictures sent to the developers.
No, that's for sure. Thank God. It's one of those things that they're just... It's been dormant. It's been off the radar for a lot of people. How do you bring that hype back around? There's a lot of hype when they first announced it because it came off of Black Flag. People were pumped playing that game. Dude, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, one of the best ones in the series. So it makes a lot of sense to have that spinoff. But again, do we get too familiar then in the world of Assassin's Creed, Scott? Like, are we going to have tie-in characters with Assassin's Creed? Or is Skull and Bones its own entity and it's out there on its own little side story?
I want it to be its own entity, but I would not complain if there was certain crossover characters. Maybe they do a Caribbean kind of event, and that brings Adewale onto your ship.
Oh yeah, there
or
you
maybe
go.
you have to fight some of these characters. I'd be okay with either, but I think it will stand on its own entirely. Not instead of having Ezio over your shoulder.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised though if Edward's there in some capacity, right? Like maybe you get your missions from Edward. Edward's now a retired pirate. He's out, but he's got these other little side stories, things that you can kind of take the quests and kind of branch out from there. Dude, Ubisoft is notorious for tying in with other games, especially within the franchise of their own right here with Assassin's Creed. I would not be shocked to see it there at
You might
all.
see some nameless Templar or something at the very
Right?
slightest inclusion. Just you sink a ship and then somebody approaches you and goes, "Do you work for the Brotherhood?"
Here's a golden apple.
No, I don't know if you ever want to see that. It's bad news.
That's kind of what I'm expecting it, dude. Let's get into this one real quick as Xbox Game Pass subscription canceled as Microsoft fights fraudsters. Oh man, what is Catherine over at Gaming Bible telling us? There's very little room for debate when it comes to the value of Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft's gaming subscription service first launched back in 2017, and since then it's been offering subscribers a massive library of quality titles to dig into. Dude, we talk about it all the time. Game Pass is one of the best, if not the best service in the gaming space. Whether you choose the regular PC/console plan or the slightly more expensive Ultimate tier, Game Pass is pretty much a must-have for any gamer with an Xbox or functional PC. But there's always going to be some people trying to find loopholes and to pay a little less as possible. As reported by Screen Rant, in light of the recent surge of sneaky customers, Microsoft has been canceling subscriptions and forcing people to cough up if they want to keep their service. Dude, this is interesting to see what's going on here. Problem is, it's just, like people what are they doing to kind of undermine the service? Apparently, a number of users were uncovered who'd been stacking the standard version of the Game Pass introductory subscription offer and converting it to the Game Pass Ultimate, essentially giving them more than Microsoft had bargained for. Dude, there's always somebody out there trying to scam it, right?
There's some way of taking this $1 for the first 3 months and changing that into more than 3 months. Apparently, seems like it shouldn't work on a software engineering kind of vector. Somebody should have just disabled that ability. I don't understand enough about web design to know how that works, but
yeah,
if there is a hole in the fence, somebody will find it. That's just
guaranteed, dude. People they're like that. They just always want to find the easier way in and to kind of undermine the system sometimes. And it's just
in real life, it's in the form of an orange safety jacket.
Oh, ouch, Scott.
I've seen a lot of that one, but that's a lot more exciting in real life. What are you doing trying to take from a company this big? They're gonna know. They're gonna have to disable you. And if I did something like that, played around, and then my account gets pulled, I would be devastated. That is not worth it.
No, it's just not worth the time or effort to even bother, right? So all of a sudden now you lost all your progress, all your achievements. Dude, you imagine losing your achievements?
I'm at almost 250,000. If I don't make it to 250,000, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Scott, our quarter is up. The show is done. We have a couple games out today, though. What do we have?
Lake has now come to Stadia. That's interesting.
Stadia.
I'm hoping to see Stadia a lot more. Yeah. I'm going to say Stadia like Sega now. But we also have Silt, and that's on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, the Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Almost everywhere but Stadia.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dude, the future of Stadia is always one I keep questioning. But Lake looks
Skull
cool.
and Bones drops day one on Stadia. That would revitalize it, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
I think they'd have to sell that part of the company to Ubisoft, though.
Scott, we're gonna have to move on. That's it for today, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Let us know if you're picking up any of these games today over on Twitter at the official ITG. But until then, everybody, it's the weekend. So I'm Drew, that's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.